Okay students, today we are going to study about the DNA structure. So once it comes to DNA structure, it's showing an antiparallel structure here. Okay, so then DNA is composed of nucleotides. Once it comes to a nucleotide, you could be able to identify a nitrogenous base, pentose sugar group, as well as the phosphate group here. Okay, so then these nucleotides are joining with each other by having sugar phosphate bonds. So once it comes to nitrogenous bases, we will be able to identify two types of nitrogenous bases. Purine bases are larger ones with two rings, and pyrimidine bases are smaller ones with single ring. So in the DNA structure, once the nucleotide get pairing, purine always pair with pyrimidine. So once it comes to purine bases, which are larger ones, you could be able to identify the adenine and guanine here. So once it comes to pyrimidine, you could be able to identify the cytosine and thymine. So adenine pairs with thymine and cytosine pairs with guanine. In the pairing of adenine with the thymine, it makes two hydrogen bonds. In the pairing of cytosine with the guanine, it makes three hydrogen bonds. Once it comes to this pentose sugar group, so it's having 5 carbon. So this is the oxygen here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 carbons here. So for the 5th carbon, the phosphate group is joining. So therefore, this end we call it as 5' end. So then the other one is the 3rd carbon. So 3rd carbon is having a hydroxyl group. This hydroxyl group is having the ability to make a bond with the below phosphate group if there is nucleotide is available. So with that thing, it makes the bond between this sugar and phosphate. We call it as sugar phosphate bond here. So the end where the hydroxyl group is available, this end is called as it is joined to the 3rd carbon, 3' end. So if you take this DNA structure here, you could be able to identify this is a parallel structure. But in this case, the direction of oxygen is downward here. In this one, it's upward here. So therefore, this structure is called as antiparallel structure here. So in a DNA molecule, you could be able to identify 5' end and 3' end in the up, as well as in the down there is 3' end and 5' end, as it is anti-parallel. So then these are the basic things that you need to know about the DNA structure for your A levels.